Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of Charlie Christian month. That's right, February will be Charlie Christian month and we're going to take a look at some solos by one of the great legends of jazz guitar. Per usual, I'm going to divide the walkthrough of this Rose Room solo into two videos. This is the first video, the video you're watching right now, but then there will be a second video about the second half, and that will be available exclusively on Patreon. So if you want to take a look at the second video, after you've done with the first video, go take a look right there. But now let's get started with phrase number 1. 1, 2, 3. One, two, 3. This tune, Rose Room, starts with a 2-5-1 to A flat, but the first chord is not B flat minor 7, like in the normal 2-5-1, but it is in fact a dominant chord, B flat 7. So B flat 7 to E flat 7 to A flat. Now that can be quite challenging to play over because it's very different from playing on a normal 2-5-1. One tactic you can use is to play F minor on the B flat 7 chord. So what you're thinking of is the 2 chord that would normally go with that dominant chord, right? In a 2-5-1 to, let's say, E flat, you would get F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat. Now we start with B flat 7. So instead of thinking about B flat 7, we're going to think about the 2 chord F minor. And that's what Charlie Christian does. And then we get this D flat minor phrase. That's D flat minor. And that is a common harmonic device that you can use over a dominant chord that resolves to a 1 chord. So in this case we have E flat 7 resolving to A flat. So instead of thinking E flat 7, we're going to think about the 4 chord minor. And the 4 chord of A flat is D flat. But instead of D flat major, we're going to think D flat minor. And you play that right on top of the 5 chord to create an altered sound, a sus altered sound. Because when I play an E flat bass, and I play that D flat minor arpeggio right on top of it, the D flat minor triad, I get an E flat sus flat 9. So that's what you're doing when you play that sound. And that is what Charlie Christian is doing exactly. And then ending that 2-5-1 with a typical Charlie Christian phrase. Very riff based, but a cool phrase for a major chord. 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2. And here we have a really cool 5-1 phrase from A flat 7 to D flat. Or you could say a 2-5-1 would fit there too. You have this E flat minor arpeggio right here. And that's the basis. And then we get it again. There it is. And if you think about an E flat minor triad on top of A flat, you get 5, 7, 9. So that's an easy way to play that 9 sound. A good thing to practice in all keys, and you just think about that minor arpeggio on top of a dominant chord. Let's say we have C7 to F. Then we would play a G minor arpeggio on the top 3 strings. Let's go to the next phrase. 3, 4, 1, 2. One, two. Now we get the 4 minor chord in the progression, so it's not playing a 4 minor chord on a dominant chord like we did in the first phrase. Now we actually have the D flat minor chord. And Charlie Christian plays this really cool little lick based around a D flat minor arpeggio. So 2 approach notes, then the triad, and then this phrase. And that sounds a lot like G flat 7, right? And that is because G flat 7 and D flat minor are very similar chords. In fact, if you look at a guitar and you play D flat minor 6, that's the same voicing you can use for G flat 7. So another cool trick to remember, whenever you have a minor 6 chord, you can think about a dominant chord that goes with it. So let's say we have F minor 6. Then we think about B flat 7. And the other way around, of course. If we have a B flat 7 chord, we can think about F minor 6. Let's go to the next phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. A really cool virtuosic phrase from F7 to B flat 7. The first thing to notice is that Charlie Christian is not altering the F chord. He's not playing flat 9 or flat 13, he's playing a regular 9 and a regular 13. So the G and the D. And that's one of the harmonic differences between swing music and bebop. In bebop, usually dominance on the 6th degree, so we're in the key of A flat, so that would be F7. Usually they are altered, especially when they resolve to, let's say, B flat minor, or in this case B flat 7. You would play something like this. Right, so you play F7 altered. But in swing music, they like to keep that dominant on the 6th degree unaltered. So with a regular 9 and a regular 13. Now this phrase is pretty tricky to play. It's kind of a finger twister. So my tip would be to first practice like this. Notice that you can keep your fingers down. Now notice this pattern. So it's 3-1, 1-3-1-3. So practice that separately. Now practice them both together. And then we have the last bit, which is probably the hardest to play cleanly after you've played the other two things. But you got to practice it in 3 parts and practice with the metronome very slowly. And then get them all together. Pretty tricky. Let's go to the last phrase of this video. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Another really cool phrase from E flat 7 to, well, not A flat. You would expect that, but the Rose Room starts with the 2 chords as a dominant. So actually it goes from E flat 7 back to B flat 7 for the second half. But let's pretend it goes to A flat like a normal 5-1 or even a 2-5-1. This is a really cool 2-5-1 that you practice in all keys, and it's easy to learn. It's only 2 fingers, 1 and 3. So it's easy to find because, well, let's say we think about B flat minor. Let's say you play it on a 2-5-1. It's right there with the B flat on my first finger. And then just remember the movements of the first and third finger. You can resolve up to the root of A flat, or you could maybe stay on that G. Something like that to A flat. Of course, in this song, we're gonna go back to B flat. So if we resolve to that A flat, we're on the 7 of B flat. So the lick on E flat 7. And then back to B flat 7. That was it for the first part of this Charlie Christian Rose Room solo walkthrough. Hopefully I will see some of you in the second part, which you can check out once again on my Patreon. If you liked the video, please give it a like, maybe subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified for all my new videos. And I will see you next time. Bye!